All right, guys, a little AM Rally 10-meter action here this morning. I'm just gonna let this baby roll and see what happens. Okay, and I heard a couple guys. Worked a guy in Texas, and he had 3 watts. I'm just running low power right now. Central Electronics 100V, R4C on the receiver, and that's it. We got the little laptop down below. I'll log anything as we go, and let's just see what happens. And 9 AMI. Little tune-up. Checking it out here, guys. I probably will kick in the Henry amp here. Calling CQ10, CQ10. Calling CQ10, CQ10 AM. CQ10 AM and 9 AMI. November 9 Alpha Mike India from the state of Nevada. Oh, we're running about 15 watts here this morning. N9 AMI.
N9 AMI. N9 AMI. Here's Kilo Alpha number 9.
It took a little fade on me. Kilo Alpha 9 something 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 maybe. Try it one more time. N9 AMI.
Yeah, that's Kilo Alpha 9 Victor Yankee. Kilo Alpha 9 Uniform Victor Yankee. UVY.
Okay, KA9UVY. Very good to meet you there. And just kind of slumming it here on low power here at the moment this morning, and yeah, you know, we'll work into kicking it up a little bit later on. But Central Electronics 100V for the transmitter, and the receiver is a Drake R4C. Antenna is a inverted V, off center fed dipole up at 43 foot. So you're booming in over here, booming in besides a little bit of QSB, but very strong signal. Back to you.
Okay, John. Yeah, I've got you in the log here before, so I've got your name down as John. I don't know. I don't think you gave it to me, but I hope I got that right. Anyhow, my name is Robert. I'm in Southern Illinois. And I'm on a Apache Labs Anon 7000 DLE transceiver here, running about. Let the modulation drop down here. Oh, I'm a whopping 17 watts of carrier here this afternoon. 17 watts of carrier, running that into a hex beam here about 20 meters off the ground. So there you go. Not just counting on 10 meters to give us a little helping hand there. But I heard you on here, and I thought I'd say hello to you. N9AMI, KA9UV. Well, I'm not really working the rally, but always get on during the rally. Try to. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, okay, very good, Robert. Yeah, I remember you. I remember the voice. And just put 2 and 2 together. So, yeah, we're tinkering around. I'm not going to be, you know, too crazy serious about it. I am running some video for my YouTube channel, so you'll be on there. You'll be on there. And you can find it if you look up my call sign at QRZ. But, yeah, we'll be playing around a little bit. It was rough last night, man. It was on 75, just with all the storms coming through. Just a ton of QR Nancy, and it wasn't fun. You know, I'm sitting there listening to that junk. So hopefully tonight it'll quiet down. But hey, I'll just play on the higher bands during the day, and if it's a crapshoot tonight, well, hey, that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Back to you, KA9UVY, Robert in Southern Illinois. What town are you in Southern Illinois? N9 AMI.
Okay, right back to you. A little bit of QSB on the end. I hope I've got it. I've had a couple of guys on the hook here today out west, and when I took too long to get back to them, it was all over with here. About 10 years is a little wormy, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, no real QRM right now. And that's one thing I do like about doing some 10 meter AM. It's usually clear channel. Might have another QSO just pop in the middle of yours because 10 meters moves so quickly, but otherwise it's always nice up here to hear all the beautiful AM transmitters. That's for sure. And I'm in Dix, Illinois. 3 letters: Delta India X-ray. Dix, Illinois, which is about 100 miles north of the southern tip of the state. So if you were to draw a line east and west, up north in the state from the bottom tip, about even with St. Louis, Missouri, just come on over. Interstate 57 and 64, the crossroads, right here by me, down in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
So near Mount Vernon, just about 10 miles north. John, go ahead.
Okay, yep, I know what you're talking about. I'm originally from Illinois, born and raised there, but way up north, in that dirty Chicagoland area, suburb of Orland Park, Illinois. And most of the family's back that way still, so we get back there occasionally to visit. But yeah, I know Mount Vernon, and used to do a lot of fishing down in southern Illinois, Lake of the Egypts, and a little north, kind of central Lake Shelbyville. So I used to have a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, it's I'm gonna say it, man. I always hate driving. Like when we come from my place in Georgia, driving, you hit Illinois, and you're like, oh yeah, we're almost to Chicago. No, you're not. You got this whole boring ride for another 4 + 5 hours all the way up north. Oh, it's the worst. I gotta say it. It is boring as heck. Back to you, Robert.
Yeah, I remember I used to go up to New York State in the summertime up there on vacation, and I always hated the ride up through Ohio. You had to almost go
Yeah.
pretty corner to cross to Ohio up there to like Cleveland and then cross over.
Oh, well,
And I always
QSB.
hated that ride, but you know what? It's got to be every bit as boring. I just take it a little better because I know I'm close to home, and I like to be close to home. But yeah, there's not much going on up through there. That's for sure. Just a lot of traffic and a lot of angry people that live in Illinois. You know, this state's gone to hell. It's terrible. So glad you got out. Glad you got out. Sorry to hear your family's still stuck here. I'm still stuck here too. So dang it. Hey, have a great weekend. Good luck on the bands. Maybe we can catch you down on the lower bands tonight or something, and make one there. It looks like I saw you in the logbook. I know we've worked a few times, but I really don't know where it was. But it's always great to hear you. So take care. Good luck on the bands, and hopefully the propagation will stay with you, and you'll have some good fun here this afternoon. 73 N9 AMI. We'll catch you next time. KA9 Uniform Victor Yankee.
Okay, KA9 Uniform Victor Yankee, November 9 Alpha Mike India. Yeah, definitely good meeting up with you. And yeah, I'm gonna keep a ear out for you. I'm probably gonna do a little 20 meter action, probably on the higher end of 20. Like 14, 330-ish in that zone. I'll try and find a clearer area, and I'll bring down the bandwidth. I've got an Anna in here too, and I've got a Flex. And I'll bring it down to about 6K up there and crank up some power. So maybe later on today I can catch you on 20 if you're hanging around and listen up and have a little fun on there. That tends to be a lot of fun on 20 later because you can get some international contacts. I think last year I worked a guy in the Netherlands on AM, so that was kicks. That was kicks, and he actually recorded it. He was at some college station, so that was cool. All right, buddy, I won't hold you up. Take care. Thanks for the contact, and we'll catch you again. N9 AMI.
Okay, 7-3. Lots of QSB that time, but still got it all. And yeah, we've been working across the pond here on 10 in the mornings. We've been working some of the guys up in England and whatnot. So good times. 73, and I heard another carrier on there. I'm going to bump up the band here. If anybody wants to call me, I'm going to go up to about 29.20.
I should move
so,
too.
73. Bye bye. Good luck.
7:30 QR. Is that anybody else there? Okay, I'm going to get out of the 2900 window, as Bobby Heil likes to call it. The 2900 calling frequency will go up the band a little ways, and it's called CQ. I'm going to get the amplifier fired up at 9 AMI. There you go. 17 watts, but I prefer to add a little bit more juice to this, so we'll put it more together, put it together a little bit better. That's good English. Anyways, guys, you know, by the time this goes up later today, you still have time. You've got Saturday night, all of Sunday, into Sunday night, and amrally.com, I think, is the website. Check it out. All the info's there. He even supplies a piece of software that you can log that I'm using down here, and just hit the upload button. Makes it easy, you know. And there you go. Calling CQ, CQ, CQ10, CQ AM Rally. Calling CQ, CQ, CQ10, CQ AM Rally. This is at 9 AMI, November 9 Alpha Mike India, located in Western Nevada. Listening for any calls. The band is dead silent, like no, yeah. There's a guy trying to get back to me like a Kilo Zero, but yeah, I think there's a Kilo Zero station in there, but it's very weak. Try your call a couple times, see if I can pull you out of there. This is November 9 Alpha Mike India, located in the state of Nevada at 9 AMI. You gotta have like, I mean, I've got this audio gain maxed out on this thing. I'm not hearing them. That's going to be a fail. Okay, maybe try it again later there. Maybe try it again later. We'll be around all day at 9 AMI, Western Nevada. That's just how it goes sometimes. You know, you can run as much power as you want on any of these bands, but if conditions aren't good, then you can run 10 million watts. You might as well just use your cell phone. So that's how it goes. And again, K0NT N9 AMI. The name is John Juliet Oscar Hotel November. You're pretty strong here. I didn't look on the Drake meter, but I'm sure at least 5 and 9 plus. So running a Central Electronics 100V, about 250 watts AM into a inverted V off center fed dipole up at 40 feet. Send it back to you. K0NT and 9 AMI.
Okay, in 9 AMR, this is K0NT in Joplin, Missouri. Well, I think I know what a Central Electronics 100V is, but I didn't think it made like 400 or 3. I didn't think it made much over 100 watts or so. So I'm wondering what you're doing there to bump it up there, or tell me the scoop there. And the name here is Bob Baker, Ocean Baker, and we're in Joplin, Missouri, which is in the southwest corner of the state. We're 5 miles from Missouri. We're in Missouri. We're 5 miles from Oklahoma, 5 miles from Kansas, and 30 miles north of Arkansas, right where old Route 66 comes right through town and then goes into Oklahoma. So that's sort of where we live here. And today I'm running my rice box here. I'm running my 890. And I am running a gigantic amplifier that's got 3 811s. And it's making a 65 watt carrier. And I'll tell you more about the antenna on the next go round. It does get better from there though. N9 AMR, this K0NT, Joplin, Missouri.
Okay, K0NT N9 AMI. That's Amplitude Modulation International. Very good, Bob. Yeah, the Central Electronics, of course, AM-wise, will do 25 watts, but I'm using a big Henry amplifier that's just kind of tickling it right now at about the 200 to 250 watt level carrier. And, being nice to it. Tubes are expensive these days, especially ceramic tubes. And yeah, I've got a few of these smaller transmitters, and the Henry amp makes them a big transmitter. HT37 sitting right next to it. That'll probably get on at some point today here on 10 and some of the other bands. And I've got the Drake R4C paired with both of those. So yep, that's the setup here. Multiple other vintage rigs and newer stuff, Apache Labs and Flex Radio and all that. But it's just fun to run the tube stuff. It really is. I enjoy it, and you got to work a little bit more, but that's how it should be. But your 890 sounds good. Sounds good there, Bob. K0NT, back to you, and 9 AMI. Uh-oh.
Okay, somehow I wrote down AMR. I remember when you said AMR, reminded me of the jukebox in the year.
He's going down.
The music content is anyway, the station gets a little bit more homebrewish. I've got me a tuner. I've got homebrew ladder line going up to a 40-meter doublet. I've got a 160-meter doublet and a 40-meter doublet. And they each have so many loads on the higher frequencies that it's a toss of the coin which one's going to be better. But the majority of the time, one is definitely better, and today you are better on the 40-meter doublet. And it's like 35 foot in the air, fed with homebrew ladder line. So that's sort of the setup here. Just how did you come about that Central Electronics 100V? Did you sit out to buy one? Or did you just see it and you thought it was cool, or what made you pick the 100V?
Ugh, big QSB. K0NT and 9 AMI. Okay, Bob. Yeah, I took a big dive there at the last of it, so hopefully I'll stick in there and come up a little bit on your end. Well, the 100V is something that I always like Central Electronics gear, and being from Chicago, of course, that is a Chicago-born transmitter, and the story's just awesome about it. And I had a buddy of mine who had one of these, which is this one, and he was kind of cleaning out and getting rid of some of the boat anchor stuff, and he offered it up to me for sale, and for a nice price, and I couldn't resist. So I've had this for probably a good 4 years. I did change out the high voltage caps and everything, and he's an electronics engineer, and he did fix a few things that were wrong with it, and he kind of got deep into the thing. And trust me, this transmitter is a real it's a kind of a pain to work on. But I was surprised that he never changed out any of the high voltage caps in it, which could have been some of the issues. But anyways, it doesn't matter. K6JCA is the fellow who I got it from, and I think he bought it off of eBay, and he was very disappointed because the outside looked good, and the pictures, of course, that the guy provided, the chassis looked decent, but when he got it, he was very disappointed at the chassis and the back panel and stuff like that. So typical eBay sort of situation. You really can't trust anything on eBay these days. It's pretty bad, but do I still sniff around on there? Yeah, I do, but you really got to know what the heck you're buying. Anyway, so yeah, it's not a museum piece. It looks nice, but it's definitely not gonna, be sitting in a museum anywhere. However, as far as I go, I don't really collect much. I'm kind of what I always like to call an operator, and all my equipment here is in line and be able to switch to it and use it. So anything that I can't use doesn't stick around. I don't really collect it. Just not my thing. Not my thing. But anyway, so that's the 2 cents on that, Bob. It's a nice transmitter. And of course, it's a phasing transmitter, just like the HT37 Helicrafter sitting next to it. And I really like phasing rigs because of the audio. However, you know, they were designed, both of them were designed for sideband. But they do work very nice on AM. And I pretty much only use them on AM. Occasionally I'll get on sideband with it, but pretty much they're set on AM all the time. So go figure. The guys who built them probably be shaking their heads at me, but that's just how it goes. K0NT and 9 AMI. Back to you, Bob.
Okay, N9 AMI, this K0NT, Joplin, Missouri. Well, band changed around enough I could hear you really good that time, John. Hey, if you want to do an experiment, I think the 100V will do upper sideband. If you want to spin down, I bet if you spun down to 890, you wouldn't have to retune much of anything. Excuse me, 28980, and we could compare the theoretical difference of 9 dB of taking the exact same hardware and going from AM to sideband. On paper, we should grab 9 dB, which should be very easy copy. If you want to try that experiment, I can do it while I think something there. How that thing did there. So I've gone through my share of vintage with that one.
And fade, fade, fade.
348, which is actually much better than a 48 in my opinion. And an R392, a pair of R390As, a single R390. I've had tons of that stuff. I don't have a single piece of it anymore, and I enjoyed every single piece of it. But man, it just takes up so much room, and I had to downsize, and some stuff just had to go. It was just that plain and simple. So I just liquidated mine. It took about 3 or 4 years to find a good home. So anyway, that's what I ended up doing with all of my stuff. Anyway, N9 AMI, we'll see if we're still hanging in there. This K0NT at Joplin, Missouri.
Okay, K0NT and 9 AMI. Yeah, no, I totally understand about the boat anchor stuff and making room. And like I said, I have this Apache Labs Anon, and I've got the Flex radio, and they both, you know, are fantastic. I'll probably have one of them on here in a while. But you know, I've got this stuff. You got to exercise it, as you know. If it just sits, you go to turn it on and the stupid thing doesn't work because you haven't exercised it. So I got to run all this stuff. Yeah, I've got a big BC610 transmitter in the corner here, and a BC348 paired up with that, and R388 and the SP600 all paired with that big transmitter. So you know, receiver du jour of choice as per band conditions. Of course, the 348, as you know, is pretty damn wide, and you got any sidewinders near you, you're up the creek using that. So, but anyways, now I'll pass on the sideband unless you want to just switch over right here. But just kind of playing on AM. And yeah, I realize we could probably definitely have a be both Q5 on single sideband, no problem. It does a better job. It does a better job. But I do enjoy AM. That's my #1 mode, just because, well, honestly, Bob, most of the operators like to sit back and have a conversation, and you know, it's a little slower pace. Kind of enjoy that. So that's the deal there. K0NT, N9, AMI. Back to you.
Yeah. N9 AMI, just K0NT. Yeah, I forgot the R388. I found the R388 was much more sensitive than the 390 was, but it sure didn't have all the variable adjustable selectivity of the 390. And I got to tell you the BC610 story I have. I talked this friend of mine into getting one of them, Okay, and he just bought this brand new house. It was just moved into. We're talking less than a month, and had brand new appliances everywhere. And he had envisioned his Radio Shack was going to be in the basement at the bottom of the stairs, but so we bought us a BC610 and proceeded to bring the thing home. And we were unloading the bottom section of it, and it got away from us, and it rolled down the stairs and rolled into his wife's brand new washer and dryer, and it hit it with enough momentum. It smashed the drum completely in the washing machine and squished it over into the dryer. They both were junk. So needless to say, his wife had a dim view of that transmitter because, believe it or not, it still works. Anyway, that's the funny story I have on the BC610. Right now, your signal's up. It's not FM full quieting, but there's pretty much no fade. It's almost as if I was synchronous detecting you or something that good. Anyway, N9 AMI, this KZRNT in Joplin.
Yeah, okay, that is a K0NT N9 AMI. That is a excellent story. Not excellent for the wife, your friend's wife. I'm sure he probably spent some time on the couch, that's for sure, and had to work a few more hours of overtime to replace that washer dryer. Ay vey. Well, hopefully the 610's still working for him. That is a story. Yeah. Well, 400 pounds, man. If you're not ready, that'll get away from you. And yeah, I've got something worse. It's sitting in the garage right now, being worked on. A Bauer 707 broadcast transmitter, kilowatt, and that thing is one of the lighter ones actually. That's about 900 pounds full tilt with all the hardware installed in it. And yeah, that's one that will probably stay out in the garage. This shack here has kind of what I call the bomb shelter down below, and I don't know if the floor will hold up, although I could probably put a couple beams in there just to be on the safe side and bring it in here. It'll make life a lot easier, but I'll probably remote it out in the garage or just use it out in the garage. So that's still in the works, getting converted over to 75 meters. And that'll be a heck of a lot of fun once I get a few kinks worked out on that one. But you see a picture of it up on my QRZ there. But very good, Bob. So you got to tell me, I'm looking at your QRZ, what's the electric bob? What's that? Or electric bob or video bob? You got to tell me what that's all about. K0NT and 9 AMI.
9 AMI is at KZRNT in Joplin, Missouri. Well, all my friends around here call. There's so many Bobs. It doesn't matter whether it's on Hammy Radio because we got Dr. Bob. I mean, there's Clever Bob. Gosh, there's Wobbler Bob. There's Electrical Bob. But electrical wouldn't fit in there, so all it says is Electric Bob, okay? And Video Bob is how to distinguish me amongst other engineering types here in town because I designed video monitors for Motorola for like 18 years.
Okay.
And those Bobs know me as Video Bob, so that's how I ended up with those two nicknames. Now, tell me the setup in the Bauer 707. Is that like an 833 base rig? Is it a 4400 base rig? What power levels does it switch between? Tell me about it. That would fascinate me. But you can always bring that thing inside. All you got to do is add pylons and beams.
Yeah.
Pylons and beams will definitely might be the answer for it if you want it inside where it's warm. But a lot of guys do run them in their garage. Some of them have more than one in their garage, and they have them connected to their own antennas actually.
Yep.
And they just run 600 ohm line audio out to them from their rack audio they got sitting inside, and they run the bloody things remote. I'm wondering if that's an idea you might be bouncing around. So tell me more on that, John, on what's going to happen with the Bauer 707 and what kind of things does it have inside. N9 AMI with KZRNT.
K0NT and 9 AMI. Okay, so the Bauer's 4400 by 4400. It's a kilowatt AM transmitter that was sold as a kit or factory built in the 1960s for commercial, of course, AM stations. This transmitter was rescued from Salinas, California, right at the transmitter site, and it was this transmitter was the first station was the first Spanish-speaking station in the state of California in the 1960s, I guess. So that's the deal. That's a little history on that. And I thought about kind of rolling around the idea of remoting it and/or bringing it in here, or just calling it good and excuse me, yawning here, calling it good, or just sitting out there and setting up out there. But we'll see. We'll see. The problem is, of course, if I want to use it in the summertime, it gets a little toasty in the garage, even at night. It does cool down here in the desert, in the high desert, but we're talking probably 10 p.m. later. So you kind of got to be careful about that. Now, if I had it in here, I've got air conditioning in here. So that would be kind of the way to go, but I'd have to probably swap out the fan. The fan's fairly loud on the damn thing. And but first things first, I've got a whole high voltage short that I'm trying to track down, and I've got to get through that first. It's on 980, and like I said, I'm just going to put it on 75. So I've got to get the thing up and running first. And of course, it was one of those deals, Bob, where the station engineer said, "Oh yeah, this was working. This was working." Yeah, it wasn't working. There's no way this was working, and how I got it. The condition of it is very good. It's a nice condition. There was only about 5 dead mice in there, and got a good bath and everything. So, but electronically, like generally speaking, it's very clean. If it was built by the engineer, they did a really nice job. But it's a 500 and 1,000 watt selection. 500 and 1,000 watt selection. So that's the deal with that. And 4400 by 4400. And that's the deal. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to getting it up and running. And I got a buddy with a HiPod tester that I got to get over here so we can use that to find out what the heck is going on. But I just talked to a guy who's owned a bunch of Bauers, and he's an engineer, been an engineer at radio station. He says, "Yeah, you know what?" He says, "What you need to do," he says, "I've had so many of those, the mod reactors and the mod transformer, the case short to ground." He says, "What I suggest is you stick a piece of wood under one of those or both at the same time and see if you can get it to work, and you'll get that figured out pretty quick." So we'll see. I might have to do that. But he says, because if you can test, and you're not going to find anything. And I've been testing with my ohm meter, and I can't find short. But man, you fire off that high voltage and wham bam-o, everything, all the safeties are going off, and yeah, not good. So I might take his advice and try that, because it does sound like that could be what's going on. K0NT and 9 AMI.
Yeah, in 9 AMI, this K0NT in Joplin, Missouri. I was just wondering if you were lucky enough it was dead short all the time, or does it only short when you bring the voltage up? One of the things that's pretty easy to try, especially if you can feed the primary of the high voltage transformer through a variac, is just unhook the wires from the filter chokes and just touch them together, solder them together, bolt them together is probably the easiest thing to do, but completely remove them from the inductors. And if it's got 2 of them, just do them both at the same time, then put them back one at a time, and bring the voltage up on a variac. If you got tube rectifiers, you got to keep the filaments of the rectifiers warm.
Nope.
But normally they're on
Solid
separate
state
transformer anyway. But just bring it up slowly, and to see if it might be okay, and that, because you might luck out and it just be one of the filter inductors, and you can pin it down really easily, and then figure out what you're going to do about it. But anyway, sounds like an interesting project. How do they drive the 4400s in that thing? Do they resort to the old lowly 6L6s? Because RCA liked them, and they were very popular. Did they use 807s, or
No.
what scheme did they use to drive
I gotta
these
look it up now.
4400s at the RF and at the audio level? I'm just curious how they did it at night.
Where is it?
N9A and 9 at K0NT Joplin.
6CA7 or something? Yeah, guys do replace the driving. I think it's like a... I'd have to look. I was looking if I had the book above me here, and I don't. 6CA7, I want to say? Maybe that's not right. Doesn't sound... Something like that. But yeah, you've got the idea. You've got the idea. So, I don't know why I want to say 6CA7, but I think that... I don't know if that's right there, Bob. But yeah, okay, on the... Yeah, I was told about the Variac deal. And I've got solid state rectifiers. That was another thing that was... One of the rectifiers was open, which probably was caused by whatever this other situation is. Maybe the mod reactors, you know, or the mod transformer, so who knows. One of the two, I'm leaning towards that. It definitely isn't it definitely isn't the high voltage supply. That I have ruled out. So yeah, I'll get it figured out. I'm not the most expert technician, but I've had my hands in the stuff for a good number of years. And what I don't know, I'll get somebody over here to help me out with. You know how that goes, Bob. But, you know, a guy like you that's got a little, you know, electrical engineer type stuff. So, but definitely go in there and hit it with the stick, and to make sure I don't electrocute myself in all that situation. So, of course, safety first with the high voltage. I won't, you know, take any shortcuts on that. But it's fun. It's fun. It's a little frustrating because I thought I'd have it on the air by now. I got it early last summer. But, you know, like everybody says, you know, this is what you get for free. But, you know, and most people say you get these transmitters and, you know, expect at least a minimum of 6 months to figure everything out and get it running how you want. I'll probably end up building a little relay box to do the remote control and all that. Even if I am not even if I'm sitting at the helm, I'll probably end up building one of those. But of course, that's later. But I appreciate your 2 cents on that, Bob. I'll send it back to you. Glad things are holding up. K0NT and 9AMI.
Yeah, in 9AMI, this K0NT, yeah, the band came up really nicely there at the end. Just another idea on the side of if you want to remote it, so you can keep the heat all out of the house in the summertime, so you don't have to pay to run the tubes and then pay to pump the heat outside with your air conditioning unit. If your house is wired up with like Cat 5 or 6 cables, you can use that. When I built this house after the tornado, I just wired everything into basically bathroom 3 where I could get to it, and I can splice like the Cat 5 cables can through to the house, either a modem or whatever I want to.
Uh-oh, it's going away.
With it, and you can use that to plumb your line level audio from inside. You can have that thing set up inside and have them outside, and just use like cat cable to send everything. You can probably send control signals over the bloody thing too. So you're just more twisted pairs. You can probably figure out a way to do that. Anyway, I'm surprised the band has held up so much. I'm kind of running the
He's fading now. He's 73 in. Okay, Bob, very good. Yeah, you took a big fade there at the end, so good timing. Good timing, my friend. Good to meet up with you, man. This is, whether it's AM Rally or anything like that, I don't care. I just enjoy meeting folks and shooting the breeze, and this is kind of my thing, you know. This is what, to me, amateur radio should be about. Making new friends and that sort of thing, and contacts across, whether it's the ocean, the continental U.S., or whatever, don't matter. So I'm glad I met you, Bob. Electrical or video Bob? We'll just go with Bob. How's that? That works for me. And no problem on remembering that, because my brother's Bob. So I hope I run into you again. I'm sure I will. And thanks for the info on the troubleshooting. And I'll catch you again. And I am recording this, so it'll go up on my YouTube channel. Probably tonight or something. So if you want to check it out, you can look me up on QRZ and get the link for that. K0NT 73. Have a good weekend. N9AMI.
I might just look yet. See, what I can do is I can use that with the YL, and I can select that, and then she'll find it quite terrible, and then she'll select something, and I'll say, well, what you found is quite terrible too, and then we can compromise on something in between us. So I might just start out tonight.
This guy's funny,
John. That's my motive. Anyway, N9 AMI 73 from K0NT in Joplin.
Okay, you're cracking me up. Have a good one, man. I love it. N9 AMI.
5RHK.
Okay, I think I hear another one in there. What was that? K5RHK. Good afternoon to you.
NT like November Tango or MT?
November 9 Alpha Mike India.
I'm talking about the guy you were just talking to. Was he down in south of Kansas City in Missouri?
Yeah, right. K0 November Tango, Bob and Joplin.
He gets on 80 meters and talks all the time. Right out here 30 miles north of Texas, Montana, 1910. You know what's on November? We don't hear that.
Yeah, you took a good fade on me there. K5RHZ, I think it was, N9 AMI. Yeah, see, band sucks. I can't even hear him. Yeah, you faded away on me there. Kilo 5 Romeo Hotel Zulu, I think it was. This is N9 AMI and Western Nevada. Yeah, there's some pretty bad QSB today, unfortunately, darn it, because the band is good when it's good, but it's bad when it's bad, I'll tell you that. K5RHZ N9 AMI. Try it one more time.
Kilo Hotel Kilo. There's a kilo on both ends. Kilo Alpha by Romeo Hotel Kilo. Red Hot Kilowatt. And you're in Nevada?
Roger.
No wonder the beam didn't work. You said it's more than 9 land.
So, did I get this right? Is it Kilo Kilo 5 RHR?
It's Kilo Alpha 5 Romeo Hotel Kilo. K on both ends.
Okay, K5 Romeo KHK.
I think I need my big amplifier on, but it's not working right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the QSB is just killing this conversation. And I think you said KA5KHK. I think I've got that. Hopefully that's right.
Kilowatt. Romeo Hotel Kilo.
Okay. Holy crap. I think I got it now there, Ken. KA5RHK. Ken, and you're in Arkansas. Arkansas. Do I got it right?
Arkansas. We're 40 miles north of Texarkana. 40 miles north of the I-30 that
That's
goes
rough.
into Texas out of Arkansas, right, Roger?
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm kidding about the Arkansas there. Gotcha on Arkansas. I gotcha. Yeah, the QSB was just a pill there for a bit there, Ken. So, but I got you down on the log, and right there you were 5 and 5, so you were booming in. Like I said, when the band's good, it's good. But man, this QSB is just killer today. Back to you.
Yeah, California was coming in earlier. Ireland, the East Coast, everything. What town are you in out there? What area of Nevada are you in?
I'm in Silver Springs, Nevada. Silver Springs, Nevada. It's western Nevada, about 40 miles east of Carson City. 40 miles east of Carson City, near the NAS Fallon Top Gun Air Base, Navy base out here. Yeah, you're in the right neck of the woods. Reno's about 60 miles northwest from me, about 60 miles northwesterly from me. So you're in the neck of the woods there. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, we've been through there a long time ago, but this we was out on the west coast back when I was a kid, pretty well. I guess the last time we was out there was about. I was 13, and then was back out there in the early 70s. I don't remember which year, maybe 70, 71 or 2, something like that. Over.
Yeah, well, the desert hasn't changed, but Reno is definitely has changed. It's kind of, unfortunately, it's kind of like a sanctuary city situation there, and I don't go in there too often. Not that it scares me, but it's an hour drive. But I only go in there to get out of town and get in the airport, and that's about it. It's kind of turned into a real dump, if I could say it that way. There, Ken.
It didn't seem to be very big of a town when we went through there. But we went south of Reno, down there, and we dropped off. We was up on top of this mountain before we dropped off to this lake, and it was snowing up there, and it was in August, over.
Well, I'm thinking maybe you were up at Lake Tahoe. Over.
Oh no, we're going south down there. It's a big lake that I guess Los Angeles probably drained it by now.
Oh, Mono.
But anyway, they was off to the left, and then you turn right and go over into Yosemite Park.
Mono Lake. Okay, yeah, that was Mono Lake. Over.
Remember that, boy. It's been too long ago, and I'm 84 years old now, so my memory is pretty shallow.
Well, that's all right. It's probably better than you think. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's Mono Lake, and there's still water in it. It's very high salt content. Very high salt content in that lake. Over.
Roger. I noticed there was a lot of white stuff sticking out of the water when we were there, and that was probably in the 71 or 2, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that hasn't changed too much over there. It's a pretty spot. It's definitely a pretty spot for some picture taking and that sort of thing. And of course, Yosemite now. Holy mackerel! You couldn't even get me in there now. It's so you've got to have a reservation to drive to the place to drive through the park now, the national park. There's so many tourists and stuff, they had to make a reservation system even to drive in the damn thing. How do you like that?
Wouldn't even a gate into it. To get into Yellowstone, you had to check in with them. Maybe they're afraid a bear would eat you over.
Yeah, well, Ken, the crap that I see on the internet with some of these tourists in Yellowstone just going up to bear and going up to elk and things like that, thinking that they can take selfie pictures with them and stuff, and then getting their butts kicked right over the hood of their car. I mean, it's just some real morons running around, I'll tell you that. It's entertaining video, but man, these people are lucky they get out of there with their lives, some of them, I tell you.
Yeah, well, I tell you what we did. They put us in jail for sure now. We had a pickup that didn't even have a plug-in for a cigarette lighter. So I wired up a real bright spotlight, and me and my youngest brother and my wife, we was driving around in the park up there in Yellowstone, and had that spotlight looking at these big elks. And people were dark in jail, there were those times we did that now with them.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what if they do anything with all the stuff that some of these tourists are doing there with their cell phones and that. I don't know. I mean, that you're not hurting anything there, but these people walking right up to an elk with babies and stuff, and and I've seen people waiting, standing in the hot water pools. Leaving the sidewalks and stuff that they're supposed to stay on, and taking pictures of them in the water near geysers and stuff like that. It's just kind of crazy today, I'll tell you that. I guess I'm sounding like an old curmudgeon. I don't know, Ken. KA5RHK N9 AMI, back to you. He's
I was in town in 59 working up there out of KC, Wyoming, when they had that big earthquake over there in the park. So I got to see where the earthquake was when we was in there in the 70s. And I think we went through there, in 77, I pulled a trailer through there, but the only thing we did then was stop and eat and then went on. There was already snow on the ground, and it was right before Memorial Day. Right before Labor Day. So it was in the fall, but it was already snow on the ground. That trim through there's over.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since I've been to that park, since the 1990s up in Yellowstone. I'd like to go back. I definitely would like to go back and spend a week tromping around out there. Last time I was there was in May of whenever in the mid 90s. And there was still a ton of snow there, and I remember camping out in the back of the pickup truck and freezing my booty off because it was 20 degrees at night, saying, well, man, I should have went to the town of Yellowstone and got a hotel, but at that point it was too late. But, that's how it is. But anyways, all good. Do enjoy that park a lot. Yosemite I won't get into. It's just too crazy. With having a reservation to just drive into the damn place, that's kind of nuts. But there's plenty other ones. I do like Utah a lot. There's a lot of nice parks in Utah. Bryce, Zion, Canyonlands. Of course, you got the Grand Canyon not too far south down there in Arizona, and those are still pretty good for the most part. They're it's a tourist attraction. So you got the tourists. And I do enjoy doing some of that stuff, and Utah definitely has a lot to offer. Nevada only has one national park, which is out by Ely, Nevada, which is really nice, but it's one of the lesser traveled national parks. It's they've got some caves there. They've got I think the mountain is Wheeler, I think, is about 12,000 foot at its highest, and there's some good hiking around, but you got to be able to get up and go do the backcountry stuff to really see the stuff. So, All right, Ken. Well, I won't hold it up too much longer. I'll go one more round with you because the band is probably up and down, I'm sure, still. Let me know what you're running there for a rig. Let me know what your rig is so I can put it down in the log. KA5RHK. Ken in DeQueen, Arkansas. N9 AMI. Back to you.
We're cheap today. We're on a M1 850. ES850 and got the antenna heater in it and all that. It's old, and I bought it a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's a few problems with it, but ironed them out myself, you know, didn't have to send it off to anybody. And I like the AM part of it. I have the old AM stuff here, though. I have the couple of Collins receivers, HG180, the more, like the National 183D. I have a 4400 modulated for 4125 Navy transmitter.
Nice.
Antenna on the top of that thing probably now would probably cost you 20,000 or more. and no telling what they would want for the whole thing. Anyway, and I used to talk to this guy out there in Hawaii every day on that thing. He was a Navy radioman, but he had never heard of this transmitter. It's FRT-17. You can look it up on the internet.
I know it.
The guy over on the East Coast took one completely apart and put it back together. I couldn't believe he got the thing working. He only had a few wires involved, but he kind of figured it out. You had a good day. Whatever you lived there.
QSB. He's still going. You can barely hear him. Still going. Yeah, band is not friendly today. I think he's gone. KA5RHK N9 AMI. Okay, Ken, yeah, you took a fade and you stayed down in the basement pretty much that whole transmission, so I know you were signing, and I'm going to sign here and take a little break. I poured myself a cup of coffee about, when I started here about an hour and a half ago and never got to it, so I guess I'm going to have to go stick it in the nuker and warm it up a little bit. Take a little break here. So nice chatting with you, Ken. Good to meet you, and I hope to work you again down the line sometime. And I hope the weather's good in Arkansas today and warmer than we are because we're a bit brisk. 7-3, KA5RHK and 9 AMI. Ken, hang on, Kansas City. Ken, what did you say? I think you were looking for what I was running and stuff here, Ken. Running a Central Electronics 100V, Central Electronics 100V with the help of a Henry amplifier, about 200 watts or so carrier. And the receiver's an R4C. Antenna is a inverted V off center fed at 43 foot. Hope that helps you out there, Ken. And QSB's sucking pretty bad today. KA5RHK and 9 AMI. Kansas City station, go ahead. Oh, hey, what's going on, buddy? We've talked before. KA0ARA, N9AMI. I recognize the call when I brought you up on QRZ. So yeah, K0ARA. That actually is a very good call. I like that. I'm just typing you in here in the log book. So we got it down. And yeah, QSB's not very friendly today. I'll tell you that. It's pretty rough. So I'll keep it short and send it back to you. K0ARA N9AMI. Hopefully we're holding up. Oh, it's rough. Damn. Hate that. He's got homebrew stuff. Yeah, QSB is really killing it. I'll tell you that. That you know, it always happens when you want to chat with somebody. I'll tell you that, Mike. Yeah, okay. And what are you running today? You running that homebrew stuff? What are you running? To see if I can get that down for the log. Central Electronics 100V here for the transmitter. Back to you. Oh.
325 watts, ground mounted vertical, over.
Gotcha. You came up that time. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, when the band, when the QSB is not hitting it, everybody's nice. It's nice, but it's kind of rough today. So, you got to work a little more. Okay, man. Well, I'm glad I ran into you. I had to renew that one, and hopefully catch you again. Maybe on the lower bands. I'll definitely be on 75 tonight. So running whatever I can muster up here. As high power as I can get out on the vertical. So listen up, probably 3880-ish or 3885. See if I can do that. So K0ARA, I won't hold it. N9AMI.
QSL, John, yeah. QRN was horrendous last night, so
Yep.
I didn't get on the air. And I heard your streaming, and I guess it was bad on the West Coast. So 73, my friend, and enjoy the rally.
That's right. He's got a BC610.
K0ARA clear.
Okay, yeah, you came through 100% that time. Yeah, it was the same here. Like you said, I guess you saw the video. It was rough, man. It was rough. And I brought up the house, the remote in Georgia, figuring, well, even though I got 25 watts, maybe I can grab a couple contacts over there. And it was the same. It was horrible. A lot of lightning crashes and stuff. So there's a lot of crap moving across the country. Hopefully it'll move out tonight, but I'm not holding too much hope for that because these storms are pretty big. Catch you later, Mike. K0ARA N9AMI. There you go.